one of those days today where no matter how much I seem to get done, I'm not getting quite enough done. And nothing's gone wrong, and I made quite an early start as well. What a mistake I made early on today. So I've still got the design business that I do some work for as well. I do work for a really lovely school. And it's become a bit of a tradition, always on the first day of their term. It's a prep school, so their terms are different to other schools. But on the first day of the term, there's no kids in. I have a load of work to take in, so I always take in coffee and a couple of cakes. So I went in this morning, dropped off all the stuff, and went to a cafe and got them the coffee and cakes. Did the drop. On the way back, got a call from them. Were you having a sausage roll for lunch? So rather than leaving them some brownie, I left my sausage roll. So I had to do a complete 360, go back and get it. Didn't help with my time today, but anyway, a little aside of the morning. So I came in, got on really well, published a story today, that's done, so that's been sent to Mac O'Clock, normal drills, kind of a groundhog day for Thursday, just wait for Mac O'Clock to publish it, it's up on Substack, blah, 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 that's all done. And then, the funny thing was today, was the picture that I posted. I was surprised, I knew I'd had a few new followers on Instagram, and I'm up to 500 now, which I'm actually quite surprised, or very nearly 500, surprised at. And I get that does go to show the benefit of being consistent and giving people something new and interesting to look at every day. So all the yards I'm putting in with the photography does kind of bear fruit. I don't know how long I can keep doing this, as I said yesterday, but for as long as I can keep doing it, it definitely does get you out there and gets you higher up the algorithm. People want to look at what's coming and hopefully they look forward to it. I've just done the reel for today, talking about the story behind the picture, which I'll mention here in case you don't watch the reels, and there's no real reason that you should. This is our own dark side of the web, as somebody called it the other day. And the picture was, so if you remember the day before, I was standing in this car park, balancing on a wall, getting a picture of the elevator shaft at the Standard Hotel opposite, and the car park I was in was at the St Pancras International Hotel, which used to be the Renaissance, right by St Pancras Hotel, obviously. So after I shot the elevator, I went in there and took a picture of their staircase, which is a really lovely, ornate, old-fashioned staircase. You're not allowed to take a camera with you. You can only shoot on phone. You have to go through a whole rigmarole signing in. It's only because so many photographers go in there. It's weird, this thing they have about not having cameras. That keeps coming up time and time and time again. Anyway, went and did the shot. Posted it today on Threads. And somebody said, oh, that's where the Spice Girls recorded it. So I did a little bit of Spice Girls at St Pancras Hotel. And it's the Wannabe song. If you go and look at the Wannabe video for Spice Girls from 1994, 5, 6, I guess, you'll see them. The very first few frames, they're dancing on the staircase of the picture that I took. So there you go. The staircase is famous. Both Nigel and George also got in touch on the comments on the video yesterday to say that, it doesn't seem very clear. I know George used a bit of AI to ask if the subscription was included. I could use a 3-month trial period, but it's like you get sucked into it, then you forget to cancel it. So I'm going to stay put for the time being. I was lucky that I used to have all of the Final Cut, the full Final Cut package. There was a woman that I did a video for. She left, somebody new came in and said, nah, we're not interested, basically, putting a long short on it. So I had to go and buy it last year when that license ran out, and it's expensive. So I've spent about, I think, 150 pounds-ish on the basic package, which gets me going. But the 3D stuff and the motion tracking, where you can have, arrows following things as they're moving, I want to get those again, but it's very expensive. So I'll wait on a little bit and see what happens with the Apple subscription, because as I say, I've already bought Final Cut, and out of the creator package, I don't think I would use much else other than Final Cut for the time being, at least, because obviously I'm very happy in Photoshop and Lightroom, so I don't need other tools to do that. And I'm very happy in Audition as well for the audio work that I do now. Well, I'm using that less and less and less because I'm using this mic all the time. Before I used to record the audio externally, but having this mic on the camera means I'm so much more flexible just to move around the studio and record wherever I want to, and the audio doesn't sound too bad at all. So yeah, I'm going to sit tight and wait and see on that. The belt does feel like it's loosening off a bit, for sure. So reflex lenses, I know I've seen the dispatch notes, that Super Tele lens is on the way to me. What I thought I would do, some of the shots I want to do next are blue hours, sort of as the sun's rising. And obviously, I live about an hour on the train out of London, but the first train for me is 5:40 in the morning. By the time I get to London, it'll be gone 6:30. It'll already be light. So what I think we're going to do is stay in London maybe one night next week at a sort of a fairly cheap Holiday Inn or something, somewhere really central, so I can get up, say, at 4:30, just walk out the hotel looking like a tramp, just go and get some early morning shots. Then I think there's some shots I can find in London from distance of some of our great monuments and landmarks and use the lens as well. I think they want that video up for next week. I think their Kickstarter is on the 28th or something like that. I've seen some teasers already on Instagram, so it's kind of out there. You'll see the lens I'm talking about. So I love working with them. They are quality products. So I have no issue in using the phone for that and sort of saying, and I haven't got a zoom on my phone, so on my camera, so it's totally genuine why I would use that. And equally, as I said yesterday, I think the 110 wide is another lens that I need to use more. So very much a 17 Pro Max is my kind of backup camera now. So I think that's what I'll do, because they give me a reasonable budget. So I think I'll go and stay a night at a hotel, get some shots done, get their video made. Most of it can be shot on location, I think. Will I ever shoot a video in the studio again? Who knows? So that's in the bank. Ugreen have agreed to it too, so they're sending me, I think they're sending me a 2-bay server, which I'll have at home, so then I can back up the server here to the server at home. I call them servers, I mean, they are basically servers. Which would be a good peace of mind, because in all honesty, that's not backing up any at the moment. It's got about a year's worth of photography on it. I use it mainly for my photos. There's a few other bits and bobs on there, like when I create PDFs for user guides for videos and stuff, I put them on there as well. It just is a nice, secure way of doing it and not using cloud storage. So they're in the bank. It sounds like this exercise bike is going to pay off, which is an odd one. Don't know where I'm going to put it. It's not great money. They're offering me... This is the weird thing. They offered me £300 for a 2-minute integration. I said £350. They wouldn't go to that. I said £350 as a dedicated. So I wrote back this morning saying, so it's £50 extra to go from 2 minutes to 10 minutes. I don't know how that works. But anyway, I've said, okay, let's go for £300 for an integration. But I just got to find somewhere to put it, because I think it's too big for home. I've got a 2-bedroom flat apartment, and I think it's too big for there. I haven't got a garage. I think I've got a friend that's got a home gym, so I'm going to talk to her and see if I can put it there and go and video over there if it comes off. And there was a company that makes kind of like an iOS repair kind of thing. So if your phone gets locked, or if it gets bricks, or if you get some sort of bug on it, there's a company that we're going fairly well. They've offered a deal, but they wanted it against a guaranteed 10,000 views. So they've got a bargain price anyway. But I've said, look, I'm willing to cut the price, because I think the product is actually quite a good fit, unlike the bike. Let's not mention that, but it pays the bills. 300 quid won't pay a lot of bills, but anyway, you know, it'll be a fairly quick one to make. But this other one, so I said, look, what I'll do, I'll use some of the money you're giving me to buy official views on YouTube through the official channel, because obviously I don't want them doing it and go to a bot farm and me getting a strike on the channel. So I've offered them to do that, so we'll see where that plays. So if that works out, it means I've got Ugreen, means I've got Reflex, this phone company, whatever they are, plus the bike. So if that happens, suddenly things feel a little bit easier, and suddenly I've got some earnings coming into the company again, and, you know, I feel a little bit more relaxed. I mean, I remember when I started this channel, there was just nothing going on at all. So this morning, apart from, it's kind of just been admin, because you have to follow up on all these things as well. So it just takes time, and also you have to remember not to miss out on things. And so I've edited the photo. That took a bit of time today. It always does. The stories, you know, take a bit of time today. So all in all, I've done all of this, done the reel, done the vlog. The next thing to do, I'm going to do the thumbnail, title, description for the main video. I got on fairly well yesterday. There was one bit that I recorded, because at the end of the video, I'm giving 5 tips on how to make the most of your battery life on any iPhone. What I did on the rooftop wasn't particularly good, so it's quite a nice transition, because I can say, because it's a more technical thing, I'm doing it in the calm of my studio. So I sat and recorded that segment last night. So now I've got to do some top-down shots, which I'm not sure whether to do top-down or sort of over-shoulder. I'll play around this afternoon and see what feels better. But that's going to be the afternoon. Now, whether I don't think I'll get the video finished today. I just don't think it's going to happen. It's gone okay, but I've still got a bit to do. I might have to pop out as well. So if it goes up tomorrow, that's no biggie. But next week's video looks like it will be the reflex lens video, which is good. A, stops me stressing at the weekend about what I'm going to make a video about. B, it's a payer. C, it gets me into London to do photos again next week. And if I do find a hotel, I'm sure I can just find, I don't know, hotels near to Charing's Cross or something like that. If I do that, there must be something around, or a Hotel Ibis, that sort of thing. It only needs to be sort of something cheap and cheerful. Doesn't need to be the St Pancras International Hotel. I'd imagine they're fairly expensive in there. Well, the beef tartare was 30. No, beef tartare was 20 quid actually. So, but anyway, it's a lovely lunch, and I thought I deserved it. So that's kind of been my afternoon's work. I'd love to get the video finished today. If I get a really good tailwind on, it might go. What I've shot, I'm okay with. I think, I'm not sure if the camera went on to manual focus at one point rather than auto, and so particularly the last frame, or the last section, I look a little bit fuzzier than I'd like. I think it's just me, because the trouble is, you spend so long looking at it, you become hypercritical with it every week. And it is very different to shooting in a studio. Obviously, when you're out, you've got so many things going on. You've got to keep an eye on people around you, but also there's just a load of variables. The light varies, everything varies. It's much harder, but I really do enjoy it. And I feel that this year I'm making a much better fist of it than I was last year when I was going around the UK. So, I mean, I say next week looks like I'll be out of the studio again. I haven't looked at the weather next week. Anyway, I've got things to do because I need to get all this other stuff done, the title, description, thumbnail, and get back to editing. That's what I'm going to do. Hope you're having yourselves a lovely Thursday. Thank you for getting in touch and just making this so much fun to do. And yes, if I forget who the guy was that said it's the dark side of the web, I hope you're enjoying our dark side of the web. It's a little click, but it's growing. Let's keep it going that way. Algorithm, where are you? Come and find us. We're a lovely vlogging channel and we love chatting every day. Anyway, I'm off. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.